So hey guys, this is Dan. This is actually an RV window out of my RV, the last trip we took to California. That bottom piece of frame and everything just like came off going down the road, had my drapes flying out the window. So I was gonna get, and I couldn't just replace the glass because the frame, I lost the frame and the bracketry was kind of busted here. So I went to an RV salvage place. They wanted like 150 bucks. And that was kind of shady. That was the cash price. If I went behind the building and sat there and waited for her to come, she wanted like 250, 300 bucks for this thing. So I didn't feel good about that. We've got the emergency exit. This is actually up in our master bedroom. And we've got the emergency exit on the other side. So I'm actually going to take these out and just put a solid pane of glass in here. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So I ended up pulling these pieces of the other two panels off. Not a difficult thing to do. And then these brackets here were in here and just kind of pried them, got them out of my way. One on each side. This weather stripping was up in the top, took that out. And basically, I've got this lip right here, and I've got a lip along the bottom. I got a lip around this side and a top lip. Sorry about that. That a piece of flat glass will sit in there and I can glue it in. So that's what I'm gonna end up doing. So I prepped my surfaces. I took some sandpaper and sanded all this down. I did this already. But just to show you, get you an idea. And just clean this surface where that flat glass is gonna sit. And then I'm gonna clean it up really good. Okay, so douse this thing with some rubbing alcohol here. And then just clean this thing up really good. Right along there. All your edges where you're gonna be putting the glue on this thing. So, got that edge all cleaned up. So this piece of flat glass that I got, which fits nicely, I got it at Auto Glass Place and they charged me 50 bucks for it. Double check your measurements. I left myself just like an 1/8 inch of gap pretty much around each side, just to make sure I wasn't going to be too big, and the lip was big enough, plus that'll allow that silicone to get all the way around on all sides of this when I glue it in. So I'm going to be 50 bucks into this thing instead of closer to 300 probably by the time it's all said and done. And I think it'll hold up better anyways. So let me grab the glue and we'll glue this thing in. So the glue I'm using is actually a 3M product. It's Fast Cure Auto Glass Urethane. I've used it at work for years. Goes in a caulking tube. You can get it in any automotive, Napa, CarQuest, O'Reilly, I'm sure has it. Any place like that. Fits right in a caulking gun. Okay, so I had to use 2 hands to put that in, but you can kind of see I laid a nice thick coat of that window weld on there. All the way around all 4 edges. Now I'm going to set the glass in. Hopefully I can set this where you guys can see it. And I did use rubbing alcohol on all of the sides of the glass as well. Okay. So that's set in there pretty good. Now I'm going to fill this little gap up here with another layer of silicone and let this thing set up. I still have found the best thing to smooth this stuff out is just your finger. So I'm all glued in. If I were to do it again, what I would probably do is run a layer of masking tape, you know, to set my edge where I want the silicone, the window weld, to sit. So afterwards, I could just pull that tape off and have a nice clean edge on the silicone. So something to think about if you're doing this. I didn't think about it till after the fact. But it shouldn't go anywhere. After this dries, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put a layer on the inside and set this thing back into place. Alright, so kind of found a good way to spread this stuff. I went ahead and put an extra layer on this just to be on the safe side. But if you wrap up the paper towel, so you don't have to get your hands all nasty, and run it down, that's actually putting a pretty nice edge on that. And I want that silicone sticking out past the glass a good little bit, just so I make sure it's not going to go falling out on me. Alright, so I didn't really show you guys getting this thing out of here, but just take the screws out and lightly pry it out. And then I went ahead and put some new caulking around the where it seals against the trailer, and we're going to stab this thing back in right now. So finished product. Came out pretty good. I'm not putting the rubber weather stripping in there. I'm just doing the screws on this. It's an old trailer. I don't feel like putting the weather stripping back in. It was kind of falling out anyways. Anyways, should hold up. Have a good one.